Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to show you today I finally got the blunderbuss, the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. I have had this on order for a while and I finally got to pick it up the other day and I'm pretty excited about it. Now there are a lot of what I think would be practical uses for this and a lot of very impractical uses for it. So I kind of want to talk about some practical uses for impractical things. Now, this obviously is not what I would consider to be necessarily a fighting shotgun. Yes, I did air quotes and I think I used them right. I wouldn't consider it to be a replacement for a full-size shotgun with a stock 18-inch barrel, 9+1 round capacity. This is a 5+1 round. Also, I got some cheap shotgun shells from the place that I bought this gun and put them in, and I could only get 4+1, and I was kind of worried that there might have been something wrong internally with the magazine tube. As it turns out, the rounds were just out of spec. The normal Federal and Remington and stuff fits 5+1. It was just some cheap no-name brand buckshot that that wouldn't fit. But I went ahead and put in what I could get in because I didn't want to ride home with an unloaded gun. I don't like having any of my guns unloaded. But anyway, the Shockwave. So what would something like this be useful for? Well, obviously it's small, short, compact, and I think that lends itself very well to being carried in a vehicle. So in a vehicle, between the seats or in the back seat or something, what's the use for it? Well, I think that's fairly obvious. For when pirates try to board your ship. I have deemed her the blunderbuss, and if you don't know what that is, look up blunderbuss. Not a true blunderbuss, but this is as close as I'm getting in this day and age. So a car, truck, gun, I think it would be perfect for that, for inside the confined space of your vehicle if you had to. Obviously, if your vehicle is attacked by one or more persons, your first option is to drive away. This is for if you can't drive away. You don't want to exit the vehicle if you don't absolutely have to. You are in an enclosed space, which is far safer than... So if you need to use this to get people off of or out of your vehicle so you can then drive away, I think that's the purpose for this. Will it replace the AR pistol that rides in my vehicle? No, but that's for if I have to bail out of the vehicle. Obviously the first and best option is if I don't have to bail out, I can just get whoever I need to off of or away from my vehicle so I can then put it down, put the vehicle back in drive, and go. That's the best case scenario. Stay in your vehicle and get the hell out of there. So that is what I see as far as usefulness for this gun. Also, I guess there is some use for it for like a breacher or something. If you have to breach a door, and if you have never had to breach a door with a shotgun, you should go somewhere where you can try it. It's pretty neat. But I think this is a better option for that if you're a breacher and then you have to transition to a rifle or something once you get in the room. So that's the use for that. Now, I also have this, my Smith & Wesson Governor. Now this is a 410, it shoots 410 shells, it also shoots 45 long Colt and 45 ACP with moon clips. So what do I use this for? I would not recommend this for self-defense. There are so many better options out there as far as a everyday carry pistol or a home defense pistol or things like that. I would not say that this is the best option for that. I wouldn't even say it's a good option for that. So why do I have it? Well, the number one reason I have it is it's not a Taurus. It's a Smith & Wesson. That's the number one reason I have this gun. Number two is I carry 410 shot shells in it. Little shotgun shells, see? And I keep this on me when I'm out on my property. We bought 52 acres of land and it's mostly wooded, and we have some of the biggest timber rattlers out there I've ever seen in my whole life. So I keep this on me while I'm out there. I try not to mess with snakes. If I see them, I would just rather them go along their merry way and I go along mine. However, if there is a situation out there where I have an aggressive snake that I have to do something about, I would much rather have this for that than trying to hit it at whatever distance with a 9mm pistol or whatever. Not saying it can't be done. I have killed snakes with a 9mm pistol. This just makes it so much easier against snakes. I feel like it's more effective against snakes. So that's why I have this gun. I don't carry it in a defensive role every day. I just carry this when I'm on my property for snakes. Now another, I wouldn't really say impractical gun, but it's not the most practical gun, but I still have one. And that is my Savage Scout rifle. My Savage Scout. Now the Savage Scout is a 308. The magazine holds 10 rounds. It's obviously a very potent gun, obviously a very effective gun for what I use it for. This also goes with me out to my property. And the reason for that is we have hogs, we have coyotes, we have bears out there, and we have mountain lions in our area. And all of those have been spotted on my property. So this goes with me. While I wouldn't grab this if I were going into a known dangerous area against people, I do grab this when I'm going out to a place where I know there are dangerous animals. I feel like this is a very effective tool for that. And you could fight with this gun. I'm just saying it's not the most ideal weapon to have in a gunfight these days with the advent of, you know, semi-automatic repeating firearms. So this goes with me when I think I might run into a hog or a bear or a mountain lion, and I don't want to piss them off with a 223 5.56. So my next practical use for an impractical gun, I should say, I have a Glock 42 380. Now, I have this because, not because it's the most effective self-defense tool. Now, I have carried this before, and I would carry it again in certain situations where I can't carry a bigger gun. Now, having the Smith & Wesson Shield these days, it's really not that big of a difference between this and a Shield, and you're getting a 9mm as opposed to a 380. So why do I keep this? Why do I keep this 380? Well, there was a time I was going to trade it off, but I have two little boys. I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and this gun is perfect for them to go out and shoot. It's bigger than a 22, so they're getting a little bit of that recoil, and it fits their hand about like a standard Glock fits my hand. So they get used to that feel when they're shooting, when they're reloading. You know, they can go through all the steps of that. It's not like trying to do a Ruger 2245 or something that has a different, for lack of a better term, manual of arms. But this actually gives me a way to allow them to shoot and train on a firearm that will mimic a larger gun that they can go to when they get a little bit bigger. So that's why I keep this. And quick shout out to Green Force Tactical. What? Green Force Tactical provided me the holster for this, and by provided I mean I bought it. They didn't send it to me for free, but I like their products and I invest in them just the same as I do several other holster makers. So that's why I have the Glock 42. Now, back to the Smith & Wesson Governor. Wow. Smith & Wesson Governor. I am currently waiting to see if I can get one of my favorite Kydex benders to make a holster for this. Now, some of them won't, I'm sure, and some of them just don't have the ability to yet, but I'm hoping to be able to get a good, reputable Kydex holster for this to keep on me when I'm out on my land, just so I can have it with me. Right now, I just have a cheap junk leather holster for it, and that's what I have for it. That's the only way I have to carry it at this point. I looked at the Kanai chest rig for it, and that it looks cool, but I don't know if I would like that. Having a chest mounted pistol probably wouldn't be terrible, but I would just prefer to give some money to holster companies that I support and I've done business with in the past and that have treated me well. Not that the Kanai guys would not treat me well, I just haven't ever dealt with them, and I am kind of loyal to my brands. So that's what I'm hoping I can get. Maybe Green Force Tactical. I don't know that Dave White would be interested in making a holster for this from NSR Tactical. I might be able to talk to Christian from Green Force and get something made for this, and if I can, that will be what happens. Now, I also want to try and get some kind of carrying system made for this to mount in my truck. So I'm going to start looking at that See who can maybe make me some kind of scabbard that I can mount in my truck for easy access for this, so it's not just laying in the floorboard or stuck down between the seats. So anyway, those are some practical uses for what I think are some kind of impractical things, as far as what the standard thought would be or what the popular thought would be. I'm going to keep using these things in the role that I've used them in ever since I got them, and they haven't let me down, and I don't think that they will. They are quality, they're just not practical for what we normally think of in carry gear or firearms gear and things like that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please ask. Find me on Facebook, Ben556. I have a Facebook page where I'm going to start uploading videos and stuff. Every time I upload one to YouTube, I'll link it on Facebook, and you guys can keep up with me there. Ask me questions there if you want to. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and until next time, take care and be safe.